Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a general collective tarot oracle reading for the beginning of the month of July. And Capricorn, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Capricorn, we all have a little bit of Capricorn in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Capricorn in, that's where this is most prominent for you. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? All right, we do have, for the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is representing communication, information coming in. The pages would work for the king and the queen in the palace, very young, 7 to 14 years of age, depending on how mature they were. That may sound really, really young, but back in those days, people had like about half the lifespan that they do now, so they didn't enjoy childhood and adolescence like we do. This energy is talking about the element of air, and air is basically your thoughts. The swords represent your mental intelligence and discipline of the mind. It's a double-edged sword, so it is logic as well as intuition. So when this card shows up, sometimes it can just be an aha moment, like, aha, an epiphany. You finally, like, you might have been thinking about something for quite some time, and then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, you get the answer. And it can also be communication. In the old days, this would always be a mail, and it would always be in person because that was the only options available at that time. But now this, all the tarot cards, just so you know, are archetypes, so they are not gender specific. So this could be a male or a female in their masculine energy, and the energy is talking about communication coming in. It could be a phone call, a text message. It could be something that arrives in the post, in the mail, documents. This could also represent the energy of, let's see what else, an email. Possibly you are on social media. There's so many platforms, and you get a message, and or you see an event and you go to that event, and the next thing you know, you run into someone who has exactly the information you've been looking for. There's also, this card is also saying pay attention to the information around you. It's a really good idea to check even 5 minutes a day what's going on at the top of the pyramid in the world. Whatever's happening with the world leaders and the trendsetters, etc., that is definitely going to affect everybody below. And we below also affect the above. This is, the Page of Swords is like talking sometimes like about a breath of fresh air. This can be, you have like like that aha moment. He's the only one that is not looking at his element. He's looking away from it. And the reason for that is because he already understands what the logical question is. He's looking away from it because he wants to think outside the box now and use his intuition to get a creative solution. And so this card sometimes it can talk about the information coming in might be from someone that you knew way back when in elementary school, high school, or even when you're beginning college, university. And sometimes it can represent you yourself at that age, that it's information about something, or even maybe it's someone that you haven't had contact with for 7 years, 14 years, 21 years. And just to give you a bit of clues as to who or what this could be about. And then we have this information here is talking about the pentacles. And pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. You are the most mature sign of all the pentacle signs. So this is up your alley. This is actually, the pentacles are about, money, of course. And this one in particular is mostly about money. But really, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want. If you don't have your health, you don't have love, you're not going to be living the best lifestyle. So this is talking about lifestyle. But in this particular card, this person it's the only card of the Pentacles where the person is literally making money. He's pounding out a coin, and so very focused on making money. And this could represent that you've already completed 6 coins and you're on the 7th and you only have 1 to go, or you just started a new project and you're on the 2nd one and have 6 to go. We have and this is for your internal forces. And this is the first card of the internal forces. This is about your self-image and how you see yourself, basically. And this is talking about fire energy. This is the element of fire. The wands are made of wood because wood fuels fire. And this energy is talking about passionate action being taken. So this is about launching something, as we said here. Possibly this is saying that you've launched something and all the arrows are starting to land, toom, 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 like that. And so in perfect time. Now, it could either be either or, as I said before. Sometimes this card can actually represent conception of a baby. So if you're not looking to conceive a baby, keep in mind it's saying you're very fertile at this time. And we do have justice coming in your abundance. So I don't know, you might be waiting for some abundance to come in from this project that you're working on. But the justice is saying that there's something holding it back that's not right, that's not correct, that's not on the right side of the law. This can be talking about the justice is representing the thin veil between the spiritual realm and the physical. Justice comes first from the spiritual realm and then it comes down to the physical. The justice figure here has the sword in her right hand. This is saying if you're on the right side of the law, you're going to, it's going to be a blessing. If you're on the wrong side of the law, you've been caught, basically, is what it's saying. It's a double-edged sword. And so justice is double-edged. The energy is also talking about redemption from karma. And so if you could have direct karma from directly caused by your actions that you have taken or inactions that you haven't that cause other people suffering or struggle. And also indirect karma, which would be from associations with people. Quite often indirect karma is caused by unfinished business from your ancestors, sometimes from your descendants, and also others that you associate with, such as friends, family, business partners, peers, all of those kinds of energies that cause pain and suffering. And again, you not taking action or taking action. And then we have the karmic spaces where human beings, we tend to make mistakes. So this energy is talking about, spaces that all of humanity easily falls into, temptations, etc. And so this is talking about in your abundance, you might be waiting for some justice to come in regarding something. And we have reconciliation. So reconciliation is talking about, it can be talking about a few things. Reconciliation could be something that implies there needs to be forgiveness or a healing of the heart energy. The forgiveness, if you are going to be in a position where you take someone back into your life, generally that means there's something that has happened where there needs to be forgiveness. Having said that, forgiveness, you can forgive someone. Forgiveness is really for yourself. Forgiveness is when you forgive someone or yourself so that you can make room in your heart again for love and let go of the pain and the suffering from it. And this is reconciliation. If you have forgiven someone, then it's talking about bringing someone back in. Now, we just had the full moon on the 29th, and it's July 1st. Happy Canada Day if you're from Canada. And this is talking about getting together. Sometimes this card can be talking about getting together with friends and relatives and people you haven't seen for a while, and going out and having some fun or having an event of some kind. But sometimes this could be reconciliation. That would be more like reunion. And then if this is reconciliation, sometimes it can also be reconciliation of your childhood, not necessarily with people. So this card is full of a lot of different meanings and illusions. When you first look at this card, you see two children playing and someone watching over them. And they're playing with these potted plants. But when you look again, you notice, wait a minute, this is a gnome, not a child. And this is a little woman. From the back, she looks like an old hag. And from the front, she looks young. They're both wearing this white mitt. The old hag is saying, we don't want your stupid flowers. Leave us alone. And the younger woman is being nice. She's people-pleasing. She's explaining, oh, we're in our finery and we don't want to get our hands dirty. Being nice. And this is asking, if someone from your past comes in and they have caused you, like, say, energy, like being left out in the cold, are you going to, just take them back in? Or you could forgive them and you don't have to have anything to do with them ever again. You don't even have to tell them that you forgive them. So this is saying, be careful who you take back in. It is very, very common on the full moon right now. We also, at the same time, had Mercury go retrograde. And Mercury in retrograde is famous for miscommunication, technical difficulties, all of in technology as well. This is talking about glitches in the system and miscommunication. Sometimes the way you say something, someone takes it the wrong way, or you take something someone else says the wrong way. A lot of different, emails not coming through for whatever reason, mail not arriving, all of these different things. So this is talking about, you can, the energy here is talking about the communication could be like not that well, but this also could be someone coming in because they're from your past and they have unfinished business. And so you have to be really careful. You have to be very discerning, because when people generally show us who they are the first time around. And then we have like this energy here of the flowers in the cups. And the flowers in these cups are white, which represents innocence in tarot. But they're not innocent. They're from the nightshade family. This is Datra. And Datra is very toxic if ingested by children and pets. It could make them very sick. So you would never let children play with these flowers, and you would never plant them in your yard if you have children, and pets. And so the Datra is sometimes used by shamans to produce visions to help heal your energy from your childhood. Maybe there's some illusions in your childhood that you're not aware of, that you think things happened a certain way, you've been told they happened a certain way, and you perceive them as that as a child, but maybe it was quite different from what you really know. And then the person looking over them in the background there is actually walking away down the path. Could be a total stranger, not someone watching over them. So a lot of illusions in this card. Be careful of energy coming back, especially during Mercury retrograde. Really use your intuition and your common sense about that. And then we have I was just going to say also, Mercury retrograde on top of a full moon can be really extra challenging because of the lack of pure communication. And people's emotions already are running high at a full moon. It's really common for that to be so. And this full moon is in the sign of Capricorn. So you're going to be feeling it a lot. And across the wheel from you in the horoscope is Cancer. So the Cancer and you are both going to be feeling this energy a lot. The Capricorn full moon is all about your public image and your reputation. And the Cancer energy opposing that is about your domestic life and your personal goals. And if the two of those are really different from each other, it can cause a lot of problems in your life. And the full moon has a tendency to bring that kind of shift out. But this is in the sign of your fourth house. This is reward coming towards you, an Ace of Pentacles from the divine for being on your path of glory. So this is saying, like, if you've launched something and you're waiting for justice, as long as you're on the right side of the law, that's spiritual and physical, you are going to receive this beautiful reward of a much better lifestyle. And this is a reward for having stayed on your, following your North Star. Your North Star is your North Node energy. It represents being on your destined path. And then we have the energy of the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is all about love. The Queen is the most likely to be traditionally married, you know, in that type of relationship. She's the most maternal of all of the of all of the queens. There's 4 in the minor arcana. And she wears, like, her family is like a trophy for her. So her cup of love looks like a big trophy. She has a lid on it because that is talking about being a container of love. Now, this is someone, as I said, who would be most likely in a traditional marriage, and someone who, you know, possibly like a trad wife, someone that really loves to build the family home and cook and be with the children and maybe even homeschool, that type of energy. Sometimes this card, it can represent your maternal bloodline, so your mother, your grandmother, great-grandmother, and this can also represent, if you're married, this can represent your mother-in-law's maternal line as well. And sometimes this card can represent people that you look up to as being like a mother figure. And so these people can sometimes be, you know, on either side of the family, or it could just be an association with someone that you consider a mother figure. It can also represent female cousins, aunts, that sort of energy on both sides of the family. And so this card could be about love coming in as well, or something maternal happening here. We do have conception, so again, be careful if you don't want to conceive a baby. You're very fertile right now. We do have the 5 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles is talking about feeling like you're left out in the cold. Quite often this can represent tactics having been used on you to put you in a position like that, generally to hurt your career and reputation so that you're put out of work. Why would someone do that? Well, probably it has a lot to do with this big reward of Pentacles, because here we have, you know, there's 10 Pentacles in Tarot, and we only have 5 here between 2 people. It's not enough to sustain a household. Both of these people look like they're homeless. They're out in the street. They're in the snow. This one doesn't even have, this one's on crutches and has a big bell around their neck. That bell on their neck is the plague bell. Back in those days, they didn't have apps to isolate people from society. If they felt that they might be contagious, they would make them wear this big heavy bell so that people could hear them coming into town, and you know, they could run in the other direction, so they wouldn't have to have anything to do with them, which, as you can imagine, would make it very difficult to you know, be in a position to earn a living or even get groceries or do any of that. And we have another person here in the snow barefoot. So this is talking about being isolated, not part of society. This is a very, it can be tactics being used, like, you know, like gossip and slander. There's all sorts of tactics that people can use to put someone in this position. If enough people get together, and that's what the snowflakes represent, is, you know, when the snow first starts falling, it's very pretty, and, you know, it's like, whoa, that's very beautiful, and we haven't seen snow for a year. And then after even a couple weeks and going into a couple months, it's getting like really too much. Like, it's like having to shovel it, having to, you know, it's snow in the cold. I'm from, was raised in the prairies in Canada. And I'll tell you, snow in the prairies, after it starts snowing sometimes in October and doesn't melt. There's been times when it didn't melt until like like May, and it's like, so you get tired of shoveling it. You get tired of scraping your car. You get tired of having to plug your car in. You get tired of having to get up an hour early every morning to shovel the driveway to get out if it snowed, and an hour coming home if it's been snowing all day while you were at work to get back in your driveway. So it's talking about, if a couple flakes get together and they say a few bad things about you, that's one thing. But if a bunch of flakes get together and they're persistent, it can cave your whole roof in. And that's what this energy is basically saying. Someone's been left out in the cold. There's isolation. Sometimes this can represent protection from God. Some rejection is sometimes God's protection. So this is, I guess the justice most likely is about the actions that this, you could still be working on something definitely that would be very rewarding, and they want the glory for it. They want to take credit for your work, and they also want the pentacles out of it. They want the lifestyle. And so this can be talking about their actions coming towards you and justice coming in for that. And this could be going on since you were young, because look at, we have a page here, and we also have this energy of your childhood. So unfortunately, quite often when this card shows up in this kind of energy, it can talk about people in your family. It could be distant relatives or whatever. It could be, close friends, whatever, people that you knew way back when. So, or as I said, someone that you haven't seen for 7 years, 14 years, 21 years. So it would be really hard for you to figure that out. But knowing that, just, think about what's been going on in your life, and it might give you some clarity. I'm going to get the energy from the underlying energy for the external forces. Yeah, look at that. And this card's been showing up a lot in the readings lately. This is talking, the Seven of Pentacles is talking about someone who, look, we have the 6 Pentacles here, and perhaps you have already completed those 6 Pentacles for some of you, and you're looking at this and you're like, what the heck? I have put so much time and money and energy and invested in this project, and this is what I've gotten out of it? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is going on here? It's like, he's trying to figure it out. Like, should I just abandon this project altogether? Is there something, I've tried everything I know, I don't know what to do. Now, this energy could be representing the energy of Neptune moving into the sign of Aries from Pisces. And that was just a while back too. A lot of planets moved into Aries, and some of them have left since then, and some are staying there for quite some time. And the thing about Neptune is it rules over the sign of Pisces. And Neptune has been very comfortable in Pisces for the last 14 years. And Neptune is about, how do we approach life? Like, how do we approach relationships, business, all of those things, these activities. And it's about how you get things done. And for 14 years, we've been doing it the way Neptune wants it done. And it's been working out. Like, you finally get your systems in place. This is someone who's used to being successful. This is 7 Pentacles. So if you think about it just from a money perspective and take the lifestyle out of it, the 10 would be like billionaire, trillionaire energy. The 9 would be multimillionaire, and the 8 would be millionaire. So this would be like about 700K. So it's not a small amount of money, and this person's used to being successful. So he probably has systems set up. This is how I do things, and if I do it, like this, it saves him time, and it works. He's already done the trial and error. But now that Neptune, which is responsible for that type of energy, has moved out of Neptune and is now in the sign of Aries. Now, Pisces is the senior executive of the zodiac. It's a water sign, very last sign of the 12 signs in the zodiac. Aries is the very first sign, and it's a newborn baby, an infant. If you've ever had a newborn baby in your house, for something so small and helpless, when the baby's crying its head off, everybody's running around. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? The baby's crying, the baby's crying. How can we satisfy this baby? And they're trying everything. Very, very similar to this energy. So basically what it's saying is that you need to maybe tweak the way you do things. You can't do things in the same old way. And, you know, Neptune is going to be in the sign of Aries for the next 14 years. So it's not like you can just wait a month or so and, oh, then it'll be okay. That would be okay if it was just Mercury in retrograde causing problems. But this is like much different from that. This is about learning to do things in a different way. It's like when your phone gets upgraded. And, you know, you just figured out how to use it. And then they do a damn update. And the next thing you know, you wake up in the morning and you don't know how to use your phone again. And you have to take time to figure it out again. And it's really irritating. That's very similar to this energy. But then you might find, oh, they did do, you know, there might be a couple things on there that really you're like, wow, that really is actually very beneficial. And sometimes you're just pissed off because it just made things more difficult instead of benefiting you. So you need to kind of think like that now and recognize, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know, especially if you put this much effort in, maybe you can just tweak it a little bit. And, you know, maybe think about that over the Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes direct again July 23rd. During that time, this time frame right now, until like towards the end of July, there's, you know, a lot of people are on holidays anyway. If you've ever owned, like you're an entrepreneur, you've ever owned a business, you know, good luck. And good luck trying to reach the people in the government if you need to talk to them. Everybody's on holidays. Anyone that has seniority, that is someone that you would want to talk to, is probably, you know, someone with authority is probably on holidays. And because people want to be with their, you know, their families. And, you know, in Canada, summers are short. People take their holidays as much as they can during that time frame. So this is really, you know, it's not a great time to do business anyway. So why not just put plans in place and tweak things a little and take some time off yourself, you know, rest up a little bit and get ready for when things get busy again. It makes way more sense rather than bucking the system and fighting it. There's some things that you have to do no matter what. And, you know, Mercury in retrograde is not going to stop you from doing those things. But to start, like, to launch a new project or to try out a new idea, sometimes that's not a bad idea during Mercury retrograde. If it's just a small tweak, try it out during Mercury retrograde. If it's a failure, you're going to know right away. It's that type of energy. So then we also have, oh, look at this. We have the 10 of Swords. This card has been showing up as well. And it quite often shows up with this card. Yeah, this is talking about, you know, being stabbed in the back, basically, and left for unalive. This is not great energy. This is coming from the external forces towards you. Or this energy can, well, I'm reading from my collective here, but if you're on the right side of the law, this is not your energy. So this is talking about the energy of someone, these are the thoughts of other people in your back. So this is people that probably are in your inner circle that have gone out of their way to get you down, and they don't want you getting back up. And so this is, and this card hasn't been, it's been showing up again a lot in the readings just in the last few days, but it was really showing up a lot at the beginning of the year. Because in this instance, like 2025 was a 9-year, you know, 2 + 2 + 5 = 9. So it was the ending of a cycle, and this is the ending and the beginning of a new cycle at the same time. So the 10 energy is talking about, you know, it's the end and rebirth, death and rebirth of something that's been happening. And this is saying you need to get up. Like you need to, this person does not feel like getting up. They're just laying there and thinking, why bother getting up? I've gotten up like 10 times already. And so this energy is saying that whatever has been going on could have been going on for a whole decade. Like when we move from 2025 into 2026, 2 + 2 + 6 is a 10-year. We didn't just move from like one year to the next. We moved from one decade to a new decade of energy. And so this is very much going to, affects us like in a huge way. And so this could be saying one person has been doing this to you annually. And sometimes if that's talking about one person doing it annually, it can be talking about some sort of inheritance or trust or something like that that you haven't been receiving that's paid out annually, that you should be receiving and you're not. This can also represent the energy of, it can be 10 people or even 10 groups of people, depending on how much coin is involved here. And so this is the thoughts of others in your back, basically, smiling in your face. And quite often, and unfortunately, this is sitting in your partnerships, commitments, and also your spousal energy. So you have to, like, this is not a good energy to have in there. And let's see what else is going on here for the external forces. We have the Magician. So the Magician is also, this is such negative energy coming towards you. This is the external forces. We have the Magician energy is talking about, normally this is about infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. As above, so below, creating a beautiful garden. You have all the tools you need. You just need to learn how to use them, or which tool to use at the best time. But when it's in this kind of energy, like we've got, being stabbed in the back, we have this energy of being left out in the cold and laying there, and nobody, and this is in your partnerships, commitments, and even spousal energy. And I feel like this is actions being taken. We have justice coming in here. We have some energy coming in from when you were very young, and we're talking here at least a decade of this going on. And this, I feel this is in reverse, this black magic, instead of like someone who likes to, dabble in evil energy, like sending very negative thoughts your way. Instead of this being like someone that's in the light, it feels like there's someone that is in the dark. And what's scary about this energy, again, then, this can imply like cults, secret societies, etc. And unfortunately, when I look at this again, I see this quite often can represent secret society energy. This can represent secret society energy. They call, and this card as well, they call this the slow dagger, which is a bunch of people getting together and gossip, slander, or whatever they need to do to get you down and keep you there. The white glove treatment, which is making sure nobody wants to have anything to do with you after they've ruined your reputation and all of that energy. And so this is something that you need to, this is like get up. You need to get up. And then we have, look at this, the Four of Pentacles. So, this is definitely why this reward is coming through when this justice comes in. The Four of Pentacles is when you just have enough to pay your bills. You have a JOB, journey of the broke. This is an energy. And again, this is all about money. Because you're like, no, there's no way, Colette, that my friends and family would never do this. Like, it can't be people close to me. But how much money is here? Because some people will do anything for money. And unfortunately, it's a hard fact to face sometimes, but it's the truth. This is about making money, and this is about making money. This is talking about having a strong foundation that you're standing on for being in this energy of, having enough to, pay your bills, etc. But that would imply probably you have a home, like you already have, you had the down payment, you saved it up. You're able to make your mortgage payments, you're able to get ahead in that way, but you don't have a whole lot left over for your authentic desires or for your crown and glory. And this quite often can represent, you notice how he has his back to the city here? This is talking about sometimes having to leave where you're from, because it's very hard to be a hero in your own hometown. People will see you how you were when you were little, and maybe back then you were the mouse, or you were the You know, maybe you were the one everybody bullied. Maybe you were the one that was the bully. Maybe you were, you know, that type of energy. So they still see you how they knew you in grade 2. You know, some places are like that. And so this can sometimes be talking about playing small yourself and not taking risks when there was opportunities, but you couldn't take risks because you're always just being able to pay your bills because this has been going on behind your back. And this energy is talking about your authentic desires and your crown and glory. This is a reward of your crown and glory, so that you can get back, so that you can get beyond God's plan, like you're supposed to be. Whatever this is was supposed to come to you from through whatever you were doing, and it hasn't come through you. It's gone missing. And so this is talking about this energy here caused this transition in your life. And I feel like this has been going on for some time. And this is talking about it's in transition. So this energy is being reversed. And this energy here, it's talking about, you know, having just enough money. This is about your higher learning. When you find out what is going on here, sometimes this energy can be talking about someone that is a private detective or a spy or that type of energy. Now that could be saying there's some sort of investigation going on regarding this. This card sometimes can represent the energy of literally making money, like counterfeit, you know, pounding out the coin, making money. You know, what are the the white collar crimes, you know, identity theft, forgery, RICO, and all of those crimes. Like there's just a bazillion of them. And so with all this energy together, it feels like there's some sort of energy around that for sure. And we have an emperor here. And because we have the external forces in of someone, this is someone who's used to being successful. And so this could be, this emperor could be working towards empowering you to get this back. Or this emperor could be part of the problem, which is really sad if that's the case, because the emperor is someone that embodies the qualities of all 4 kings in the minor arcana, and they're in the major arcana. And they all, whenever they can see an opportunity, they're always ready to take that opportunity. And, you know, they're ready at a moment's notice. They're wearing their armor underneath their robe. So if this could be someone, they're in the top of their game. They're an alpha male energy, and they've got like wisdom. So people go to them for advice. But if this is someone, this could be representing someone that is going to empower you so that you can get this back. Or this could represent someone that is involved, that should be doing that and isn't. So you're going to have to take it as it, you know, applies for you. And look at this. We have the earth angel energy right beside it. So this is interesting. The earth angel energy is having temperance and the patience to stay on your destined path. This is in the form of blessings. So I do feel like this emperor could be running this investigation. And this could be talking about, because this is your blessings. So this is saying if temperance is talking about, for one thing, having really good character. And not letting your anger get the best of you, and not getting all emotional right now, which, you know, this is your career and reputation. So this could be someone coming in to clean up what was done here. Crazy energy. But this is talking about your blessings. And so in the Bible, it says there's 144,000 chosens that are come down to earth. And a lot of people refer to that as earth angels, and feel this card represents that energy. This is the alchemy of someone that is got special qualities, adding it to the universal pool of life. And then they have their left foot grounded on earth, talking about their creativity, creating this beautiful garden, that type of energy, and being on the designated path. I feel like this probably is saying that this emperor is working for you, not against you, to get your career and reputation back online so that you can be in this energy. or yeah, like, well, let me put it to you this way. I feel this emperor is working for the earth angel energy that's on their destined path, and they're on the right side of justice, and they're doing their job. And I feel like, but I feel like there was probably some other people that weren't doing their job. If this, like, the emperor is like, I mean, a king of swords could have handled this, you know, but the emperor is handling it. So it's gone way, like, we're talking like, instead of like local authorities and police and that in your area, this is talking about the top, like FBI, CIA, NSA, like that type of energy. And even people on top of that, because some of them aren't on the up and up either. And look at this, we have the sun shining on it. So this is saying, this is the happiest card in the deck. This is God's energy and saying, don't worry, if you're on the right side of the law, this is meant for you. It's to get you back on your destined path. This young child is riding this pony, totally fearless. The sunflowers, their heads are all turning to the sun to gather its warmth and happiness. And this is, the truth is coming out. And we're seeing a lot of this. And I just want to point out, because this feels like this goes way back. And so this energy, it's typical right now of the energy of Uranus in Gemini. Uranus moved into Gemini a while back, about a month and a bit ago. And Uranus in Gemini wants the truth to come out. The last time Uranus was in Gemini was 1941 to 1949, during World War II and the aftermath of World War II. And we're still dealing with the truths from that. So it's weird, like weird truths coming out in weird ways. And every day, like, it's almost like announcements are made, and the next day another announcement is made. Oh, this person was caught cheating or whatever. Like, it's happening really quick, and it's happening in really weird ways. There's a lot of energy, like technology. This can be saying about technology being used to investigate, and this can be legal and illegal investigations. And so we're talking about hidden cameras being placed, and also the energy of hot mics is coming up, you know, that type of energy. So there's a lot happening here. Holy Capricorn, this is a lot of energy. And of course, the full moon is in this. The good thing is the full moon sheds light on a lot of hidden secrets that are out there. So this is like, with that, with Uranus in Gemini is a pain in the butt for people who are on the wrong side of the law. And it's going to be there for another 7.5 to 8 years. So get the popcorn out, I'd say. Wow. What a lot happening here. So I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time, energy. I hope it was beneficial for you. You know, make sure to remember, take what works for you and leave the rest, because this is a lot. And this is from my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. This is a painting from Tales from the Vector. I started it in 2007. In 2020, whoops, this is coming from the bottom. In 2020, I completed all the paintings. There's 64 of them. This is how they are. The numbers on these cards represent the order they are in my website, talesfromthevector.com. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I will put in the description box below the cards in the order they appear. If you want to check it out, feel free to do so. It might give you further clarification. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune is turning with this investigation. So again, this is really, really good news coming in like this. It's saying that if you're on the right side of the law, finally you're going to get justice here. And it's been launched for sure. And so the Wheel of Fortune is saying the wheel is turning in your favor. It's God's plan coming into action. That, the synchronicities, everything's going to occur so that the past, the present, and the future come together, and in God's plan, so that you can be on your destined path. And then we have father figures in here. So I hope not. This could be actually your father is involved, but this could also, remember we said going back in time. It depends on your age, basically. But if your father is an older person, it could, and maybe even cross the veil, this could represent the energy of something that was unfinished business from your father or from the paternal line. So, you know, that energy that we were talking about, going back in time. Wow. There's the trauma queen. So this is sitting on the actions being taken. Like, it's like, this is meant to, the actions being taken are meant to cause a bunch of drama, so that you always have to fight really hard for everything, and or run away from it, or just makes you stuck. Like, everything you do is so hard because there's so many people collaborating behind your back to stop you from moving forward. We have the Libra energy, and this is talking about love. This is talking about, you know, Libra energy is when you're married, you have, it's about getting married, and you maybe starting a family, and, you know, we have conception here. So sometimes this could be saying the justice will be for your whole family, you know, and for your partner, or sometimes this could be saying your partner was involved in this. You would have to take this the way you see it. And I also want to point out that when I have signs coming in like this, from the horoscope, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm not trying to identify anyone. This is about the qualities in each of the signs. We have all, if you ever get your birth chart done, you have all the signs somewhere in your chart. And we can learn from this. Like, so Libra is justice coming through, though. So definitely justice sitting on justice. But it's either justice for your partner, or partners in business, you know, spouse, whatever, or it's the opposite. And they were involved. And so then this is talking, because right here, look what we have. We have the Leo energy is talking about stepping into a leadership role. The sun is ruling over the sign of Leo. Leos are natural born leaders, but they tend to become very arrogant when, you know, think of a young guy like under the age, you know, like a teenage boy. You know, they're rebellious and they know everything. And so they can come off as being really arrogant. They're not quite mature enough to have the confidence to lead yet. But they can feel that energy in them, so they're playing with it a little bit, you know. And then we have the Capricorn. So you're representing yourself on this reward. So that's really a good sign. This is talking about taking the responsibility, seeing the possibilities within the challenges. And then we have the Hangman energy, which is talking about being in balance. And this is talking about that, you know, the Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge and doesn't take action until he's hanging upside down, so he can see things from all different perspectives, so before taking action. And that is kind of what's going on here. And this can also talk about that balance between, like, if your career and reputation a bunch of people have been doing this for over a decade, I mean, there's been a lot of damage done to your reputation, and you may not know about it because they're being careful to make sure you don't. They might even be using your identity and someone's pretending to be you, and they're online pretending to, you know, it's not great energy. We have the throat chakra energy. This is talking about again, all of the things being spoken here, and the harm. Like, once the truth comes out, the harmony will be restored to your life. I feel this will be very public. There's a lot of energy here. I don't know what the heck. And the Emperor, I don't know. We'll see what's going on there. We have, from the bottom of the deck, the external forces. We have perception. Someone thought the grass was greener on the other side. So that would imply there could have been some involvement with, that could represent for sure third-party energy in your marriage, but it also could be in a business or something like that. It could be both. So this is about you, hanging from the tree of knowledge and looking at things differently, as I described, with Neptune going into the sign of Aries. We have judgment on this energy right here, God's judgment, saying, bang, my foot's coming down. You've been playing. You haven't been playing with this person alone. You've been playing with me. This is my plan, and my plan is going to be the one that is put into action, not yours. The need to be right. Yeah, sometimes people will do anything to be right, and even use black magic and, voodoo and bullshit like that. We have indifference. We're all in it together, a work in progress. Indifference is a karmic space that we can fall into when we don't care about the suffering that we cause other people because we're indifferent to it. Yeah. What do you mean there's no progress? They're the ones that will smile in your face and say, oh, we're making such great progress, but behind your back, they're doing everything to take as much as they can and make sure to keep knocking you down so that you eventually you just can't get back up. We also have mother's worry. So this could be coming from the maternal and the paternal side of the family. Yikes. This is in your internal forces, and this is external. So read it how it feels for you. This can also sometimes represent the mother of your children, and again, the maternal line being involved in it somehow. Yikes, what a lot of energy. Scorpio energy. This is talking about, Scorpio is very good at uniting people, and that energy at its finest is about elevating themselves and others and raising the vibration. And at its worst, it's about conquering everybody. And Scorpio has a mean, it's a scorpion. If you ever got stung by a scorpion, it's not a walk in the park. So it's that type of energy being used. And then being in denial, what I don't know won't hurt me. I'm getting that, this is saying, when it involves people that are in your inner circle and maybe your spouse, you really don't want to see that. It would be possible. So this is talking about, this is going to be hard to hear, but the truth needs to come out because eventually you'll be way happier for it. I mean, you need to know this. If there's this kind of energy going on, good Lord, and you already, this is saying that something needs to be done about it. You've already got 10 swords in your back. This is talking, this has to come to an end. So these people have been given many opportunities by God to straighten their shift, get their shift together, straighten themselves out, and they haven't. And so now the shift is going to hit the fan, basically, is what I feel. I do hope this was beneficial for you. Stay calm, being impulsive right now, and when the truth comes out and justice starts being served, you could be really angry when you find out what really happened, but remain as calm as you can. Now, with the retrograde and the full moon energy in your sign is not a great time to flip out, right? Remain as calm as you can. All right, I do hope this has been beneficial. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, subscribes. I really do appreciate them all. It's helping me build my channel. I'll be back with another reading for you again soon, Capricorn.